Have you ever met someone and immediately felt a sense of unease? As if something about them was just off? You might have dismissed it as a gut feeling, a product of your imagination. But sometimes those instincts can be life-saving, especially when dealing with potential partners. Recognizing red flags early could save you from a lot of heartache. In this episode, we're diving into tales of infatuation gone wrong, exploring moments when love turned sinister, revealing the chilling signs that should have raised suspicion, showing that sometimes the most horrifying nightmares can come in the guise of our deepest desires. We'll begin with the tale of a young woman who fell head over heels for a charismatic stranger, only to discover a horrifying truth. Allison met Mark at a local bar. It was love at first sight. Mark was charming, handsome, and had a way of making Allison feel like the only girl in the world. Within months, they were engaged. But cracks began to show. Mark, often distant and secretive, started coming home late, sometimes reeking of alcohol. Allison tried to ignore these lapses, attributing them to work stress. However, her friends were deeply concerned. They saw how Mark's behavior was changing and urged Allison to reconsider. Despite the warnings, Allison moved ahead with the wedding. Her friends, though heartbroken, attended hoping to support Allison, yet their worst fears were realized during the reception. Mark, clearly intoxicated, stumbled through his vows, embarrassing Allison in front of their guests. The honeymoon was supposed to be a magical escape, but Mark's heavy drinking continued. Fights became frequent, and Allison would wake up with bruises she couldn't explain. Her friends, upon learning of the situation, reached out to Allison, urging her to prioritize her well-being. Allison did try to end the relationship, but Mark refused to let her go. He manipulated, begged, and even threatened her with emotional distress, saying he couldn't live without her. Allison, torn and confused, struggled with her decision. However, the turning point came when Mark, in a fit of anger, pushed Allison, causing her to miscarry. That was the breaking point. Allison finally ended the relationship, moving back in with her friends. While initially scared and hesitant, Allison slowly started to heal. With the unwavering support of her friends, she began therapy, confronting the trauma of her abusive engagement. Her friends, always by her side, helped her find strength she never knew she possessed. Eventually, Allison took legal action against Mark, obtaining a restraining order and ensuring he stayed away. Allison's journey to recovery was not easy, but with time and support, she healed. Looking back, she realized her friends' role in saving her from a toxic relationship. Their concern and aid became the anchor that kept Allison afloat in a sea of despair. Their intervention saved her from a future filled with Mark's manipulation and abuse. Today, Allison lives her life on her own terms, stronger and wiser. She has rebuilt her life, cherishing the true friendships that stood the test of time. Allison's story serves as a reminder. Friendships are precious and sometimes can be life-saving. Being there for your friends, offering help and support in times of need is invaluable. Red flags shouldn't be ignored. Trusting your gut feelings is crucial, and seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. If you're facing challenges in your relationships, know that you're not alone. Reach out to friends, family, or professionals. Remember, you deserve love that is healthy, supportive, and respectful. Don't settle for less. Our next story dives into the life of a devoted husband who formed an unlikely bond with a mysterious newcomer, leading to an unsettling turn of events. Thomas and William were close friends. They shared everything from hobbies to dreams. When a new neighbor moved in, an elegant woman named Elizabeth, both men were intrigued. Elizabeth, sophisticated and enigmatic, became a regular at their gatherings. Thomas developed a particular fondness for her, often finding himself drawn into deep conversations about art and literature. While William noticed Thomas's growing fascination with Elizabeth, he couldn't shake off a nagging suspicion. There was something about Elizabeth that he couldn't quite put his finger on, a subtle air of mystery that made him uneasy. Despite William's reservations, Thomas's admiration for Elizabeth grew. He began spending more and more time with her, often neglecting their friendship. William, though hurt by the shift in their dynamic, tried to be understanding. He knew Thomas was head over heels in love, and decided to give Elizabeth the benefit of the doubt. One day, William paid an unannounced visit to Thomas's house. He was surprised to find Elizabeth there. She welcomed him warmly, offering him tea and engaging in polite conversation. But as William observed her, he noticed peculiar inconsistencies in her stories. When pressed with follow-up questions, Elizabeth would often become evasive, changing the subject with a quick laugh. Intrigued and slightly suspicious, William decided to investigate further. He discreetly began researching Elizabeth, searching for any information he could find about her. To his surprise, he uncovered a series of shocking revelations. Elizabeth's past was riddled with deceit and manipulation. She had been married multiple times, each marriage ending in scandal or sudden separation. Additionally, William discovered that Elizabeth had been using various aliases, making it difficult to piece together her true identity. With this newfound knowledge, William confronted Thomas, expressing his concerns and urging his friend to reconsider his association with Elizabeth. However, Thomas, blinded by love, refused to believe William's accusations. He argued that William was simply jealous and didn't want him to be happy. Distraught by Thomas's reaction, William decided to distance himself from both Thomas and Elizabeth. He couldn't bear to watch his friend make the same mistakes he himself had once made. Years passed, and William occasionally wondered about Thomas and Elizabeth. Had his warnings gone unheeded? Was Thomas still entangled in Elizabeth's web of deception? One day, William's curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to pay another visit to Thomas' house. To his astonishment, the house was empty. The windows were boarded up, and a for sale sign was out front. William couldn't help but feel a sense of foreboding. Had Elizabeth moved on to her next victim? Had Thomas finally realized her manipulative nature? William never found the answers he sought. The mystery of Elizabeth and Thomas's fates remained unsolved. Yet William couldn't help but reflect on the power of perception and the lasting impact of choices made in the name of love. Sometimes the most captivating individuals can also be the most deceptive. These tales remind us that love can be both beautiful and treacherous. Staying true to ourselves, trusting our instincts, and valuing genuine connections are essential in navigating the complexities of relationships. What do you think about these stories? Have you ever encountered someone with red flags you ignored, or a friend who helped you see warning signs? Share your experiences below. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the like button, subscribe, and share with friends. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, stay curious, keep questioning, and remember, sometimes the most captivating stories are the ones that warn us of the shadows lurking in the light.